I spent 25 years of my life judging myself. Every action I took faced constant self-criticism. Whenever I said something awkward, I'd get embarrassed and I'd replay the situation over and over in my head. Whenever I did something I regretted, I got angry and questioned how I could be such an idiot. Whenever I spoke to someone I liked, I would get nervous and tell myself why I wasn't good enough for her. This constant self-judgment followed me everywhere I went. It was like a dark force that I couldn't run away from. And because I was judging myself so harshly, I needed other people to validate me. I changed myself to fit in, to become more likable, to avoid disapproval. Because in my mind, the real me wasn't enough. I kept doing this for years, chasing approval, hiding the real me, until one day I hit a wall. I was exhausted, sick of not having peace in my own body. Then one night, everything changed. I was lying in bed, thinking, and that's when I realized I had been my own worst critic. Not others, me. Once I saw that, I cried for hours. I couldn't believe how harsh I'd been on myself. I should have been my own number one supporter, not the person secretly judging everything I did. From that moment, I promised myself that I would accept all of me. I'd be proud of who I was. I'd stop hiding the real me to fit in with others. I would love myself unconditionally. And in this video, I want to help you do the same. I'm going to share with you 4 key realizations that will help you stop judging yourself and finally start loving who you actually are instead of pretending to be someone you're not to fit in. So let's get into it. The first key realization is that we can never be anyone else, so we may as well love ourselves unconditionally. This isn't about growing so much that we can finally accept ourselves. It's about removing whatever thoughts tell us that we aren't enough right now. Most people think that enough is something that we become, but it's not. We already are enough. We've just convinced ourselves that we aren't. If you imagine that there's a line that represents being enough, we are already there. But because we've convinced ourselves otherwise, we believe that we are below that standard. One guy won't feel enough until he loses weight. Another guy has to buy his first house to feel complete. The other dude won't accept himself until he gets into a relationship. The specific thoughts and conditions change from person to person, but it's all the same. They are just false beliefs that convince us that we aren't enough right now. Remove whatever thoughts that are telling you that you have to be better, and you'll naturally realize that you are, and always were, enough. The second key realization is that we all create a split of good and bad in our mind, then judge ourselves and others based on that split. If you imagine that there's a straight vertical line, and on one side is everything that is good, and on the other side is everything that is bad, all of our self-criticism comes from this split. One guy judges himself because he doesn't make enough money. Another guy thinks he's not attractive enough. Another says he isn't disciplined enough. But all of them are judging themselves because of this split. Remove the split, remove the self-judgment. The way we do that is by looking at our insecurities from a different perspective. For example, in my mid-20s, my hair started falling out. This caused a lot of fear and self-judgment. I was afraid that I would have less options and women would think I was less attractive. I had to view going bald from a different perspective. Otherwise, I would have judged myself for the rest of my life. And I did that. I realized that some women didn't care. I realized that it wasn't that big of a deal. I realized that it was out of my control, and I didn't have to judge myself because of it. So that's how we remove the split. We look at everything that feels like a shortcoming and everything that we're insecure about from a different perspective. Once we do that, we no longer feel insecure about the things that we used to, and this split naturally removes itself. The third key realization is that we don't have to be insecure about anything because nobody's perfect. I used to put other people on a pedestal, especially attractive women and hyper-successful men. I thought that they had everything figured out and they had nothing they were insecure about. But as I got older and started coaching other people, I realized that nobody's perfect. Someone might be a millionaire, but he hasn't spent time with his friends in months. Another might be in incredible shape, but struggles with his anger issues. Nobody's perfect. We've all got things that we're good at and things that we are not so good at. That doesn't make us bad or incomplete, it just makes us human. You've got to decide what's worth being good at and accept that, like everyone else, you'll never be perfect, and that's okay. The final key realization is that we don't have to hide anything because the right people will love us because we're us. When I was younger, I thought that I had to be perfect, otherwise my ideal partner wouldn't want to date me. So I tried. I got into the best shape of my life, built a successful online business, worked on my confidence and my social skills, but no matter how hard I tried, deep down I still didn't feel enough. I knew that I still had flaws, I knew that I still had insecurities, I knew that I still wasn't perfect. And it wasn't until I started dating my fiance that I realized she never actually expected me to be perfect. She loved me for me, not for what I did or had accomplished. She liked my personality, who I was, the things I was interested in. She even loved my shortcomings because they made me more relatable to her. Once I saw this, I no longer felt the need to hide anything. I gave myself permission to just be who I am, regardless of what other people think. And hopefully, after you've had these 4 realizations, you'll give yourself the same permission. It might not happen overnight, but I pray that you can learn to unconditionally love yourself because you can only ever be you, and you deserve to feel completely at home inside of your own body, regardless of what anyone else thinks. So with all that said, I hope you enjoyed that video. I trust you got a lot of value out of it. If you did, it would mean a lot to me if you subscribe to the channel, you liked the video, and you left a comment on your biggest takeaway or something that you're working through right now. I read all of the comments and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But with that said, again, I hope you enjoyed that one. I trust you got a lot of value out of it, and I will chat to you soon.